Okay. Let me see if I can get some people in here in the next little bit. We'll see what transpires here. And hey, Jeff, how are you? Hey, how are you? Just I'm enjoying watching the. I'm enjoying watching the. Hey, Jamie, how are you? I'm enjoying watching all of the Democrats and the left go crazy with all the Trump appointees. I mean, they are imploding big time right now, aren't they? They're they're going wild, and it's enjoyable watching them kind of implode. Oh no, what? Who's he going to pick next? And all that sort of stuff. So that's been an enjoyable time, I think, for me. Uh, they're questioning everything, and he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. He just picked, and he really exploded their head this week when he appointed Matt Gates. You know, when he nominated him uh, to be Attorney General. I mean that in itself, and oh, I mean that killed him right there. And then he did Robert Kennedy, which he said he was going to do. Oh yeah, yeah, it's fun watching it. Hey Aaron, hadn't seen you in here a while. Yeah, glad to see you in here. Yeah, I know it. It's amazing how the election deniers are coming out again, aren't they? Wow, they're really questioning what happened in Pennsylvania and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that they're it's a crazy situation that yeah, now they're saying we don't know if the election was fair or not. Yeah, when it's a mandate, really. It was not only fair, it was a mandate. I think the majority he got the popular vote and he got the electoral college vote. I mean, everything excuse me, everything fell into place. I mean, it couldn't have been any sweeter. And oh, that Southern Poverty Law Center. I mean, that's a communist outfit there. That's a crazy people there. And I don't know. I hate to even they use the name Southern in there because it's crazy. Yeah, Matt Gates is going to be the toughest one to get through. He's going to be the toughest one. I mean, they tried to trump up some charges on him, uh, and that were unfounded. Uh, and Matt Gates will. I mean, he's well off. His family's well off. So it's not like if he doesn't get this appointment that it's gonna it's gonna derail him in any way. I mean, I think he'll be out and about doing other things if not that. So I don't think he's going to be hurting one way or the other. But I'd like to see him get in there because he's a spitfire. I mean, he'll get to the bottom of some of this crap that was done to Trump. And so if anybody could do it, he could do it as Attorney General. Yeah. Well, you know, uh, I think it's amazing to me that one guy uh, like Elon Musk has helped America so much. I mean, and he was a former liberal, and then he decided, I'm getting screwed over too on this mess, and he saw the light, bought Twitter because he didn't like what was happening to people on free speech. He helped free speech more than any one person in this generation, I would say, would be Elon Musk, and he's done a fantastic job of helping America get its feet back on the ground. I think so. I mean, Elon Musk is a hero, in my opinion. He's a genius to begin with, but he's a hero too. How'd I get in there? Yeah, yeah, I'd like to have been up there with him. Uh, yeah, I like Vivek too. Vivek is a very smart man, very smart young man. I like him. Yep, yep. I think Musk sitting in the driver's seat. He's a smart guy, and it's so funny how the liberals. Oh, he was their man. When everybody thought he was all liberal because he was electric cars and everything else. Oh, he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. But as soon as he flipped the switch and says, "No, I don't like what they're doing, free speech, and I'm gonna buy Twitter," oh, it went downhill. It went downhill. It's like, oh no, you're the enemy now. You're enemy number one because you bought the tool that we had to kill people. You know, he bought the wrong thing. You, yeah, I saw where y'all have got some wildfire and everything up there, Joey. Yeah, top of the morning to you too, Joey. Yeah, I'm. You know, Joey, your state's finally moving in the right direction. I wish it could move a little faster, but New York's there's a lot of people in New York and even in New York City that are standing up for their rights. And I'm liking it. I'm liking it. The trend that I see, what's happening in the New York State. Uh, I mean, they're still overrun with so many liberals. It's pathetic. Oh, that would be fantastic if you get a Republican governor. I mean, it'd be hard pressed. It's crazy how uh, the one mayor in New York City that cleaned it up was a Republican, and other than that, and then uh, what you call it, Bloomberg used to be a Republican, then switched to be a Democrat. Uh, he ought to switch back, but that's neither one way or the other. That's not going to help him either way. But I mean, they've had some crazies. Oh, excuse me, I yawn here. I'm a little bit. I guess I'm a little bit sleepy. Now I haven't kept up with that now, Jamie, on the Sean Curran. Uh, but yeah, I would imagine there'll be a loyalist in there, somebody that Trump feels like he can trust. I mean, everybody that he's put up there so far have definitely been people I think he can trust, and that's what he's got to go for. He's got to go for the ones that uh, will be loyal. I mean, and last time when he was in, he was relying on. I mean, he was so new to anything in Washington that he was relying on some old established uh, so type people, and really wasn't directed right. And this time he's hit the ground running. He had this list made up way before he was elected president. I mean, he's had this on his mind for a long time. I mean, he's already vetted these people out, and knew what he was going to do way before he took office. I mean, he hadn't even taken office yet, but way before he won the election. Yep, yeah, he's going to get. He's got an A team so far, and I hope he'll be able to keep most of it together because they're going to try to dismantle it. Uh, you'll have even some rhino Republicans that will give him a hard fit too. I mean, I question Lindsey Graham a lot of times. Lindsey Graham is he's such a war hog that he and I often wonder if he's not in the pocket of some of these military industrial complex people. And I'm not. I don't trust Lindsey Graham, and he's from down here, in the Carolinas too, where I'm at. I mean, Lindsey Graham. I think I'd like to see somebody better than him get up there for South Carolina next time. But we'll see. We'll see. He's in there for a while. And the other thing, uh, I liked. Oh yeah, that's Susan Collins. That Susan Collins is up your way, up there. Where's she from? Maine? Is it Maine or Connecticut? I don't know. Somewhere up there. That Susan Collins is that. She's wishy washy as far as a Republican senator. So she won't Maine. Okay, yeah. She's not. She she's not a good Republican. She's a rhino, in my opinion. But that's neither one way or the other. But we're going to have those in the Senate. At least the Senate is going to be able to dominate, and hopefully the House will too. I don't know how resounding that's going to be, but we'll see. Oh yeah, Mitt Romney for sure. Mitt Romney. Now, did he get out? Is he out? Is he still in there? I don't even know what his status is. Is he still a senator? Well, he's still a senator. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney is he's as rhino as you get. Him and Liz Cheney are just about on the same page, in my opinion. And so I don't like Mitt Romney. I'm glad we didn't elect him president. I would hate to think what would have been like with him. I mean, he was he gives Republicans a bad name, I think. I mean, he's the established. Uh, he's the. I don't know. He goes along with everything that the establishment wants to do. I mean, he is definitely a rhino, in my opinion. Trump's the exact opposite. Trump goes against the grain of the old rhinos or the old established Republicans. That's why they don't like him, is because they can't control him. I mean, the old established Republicans want to be able to control them too, like Speaker of the well, not Speaker. Turtleneck. What's his name? That was the Senate Majority Leader at one time, Mitch McConnell. I mean, I don't like Mitch McConnell either. Yeah, yeah. Romney was governor of Massachusetts. Then he moved out to Utah, didn't he? And I'd be out there with the rest of the Mormons, and or the majority of the Mormons, and then tried, and he did something with the Olympics way back, and all kind of stuff. But he's definitely a rhino, in my opinion. And there's several others out there too like that, and we have to stand guard from those. I mean, you got them hopefully on the right side most of the time. Every once in a while they'll defect, but the Democratic senators won't defect. They're going to be a solid block. I mean, they're going to be a solid block against whatever the Republicans want. So it's going to be tough. That's why we have to have the majority. It is something. Yeah. Oh, I know. I mean, the old Democratic Party. I mean, and I've stated on here plenty of times. I used to be a Democrat years ago. I mean, that our Democratic Party used to be a middle of the road for the common man, and it left. I mean, what the old Democratic Party used to stand for, their values left long time ago, and they've come up now with this socialist type setup now that they're wanting for the Democratic Party, and I'm 100% against what that is. I mean, that's why I left. I mean, I'm an independent, and I register as an independent. And I think I've stated on here before why I do, and especially in the state of North Carolina, is because if there is something that on the Democratic side, and say in a primary, that I want to have a voice in, that I want to go, no, this person would be better, or that, or this issue is better, and it's just held in the Democratic primary before it gets uh, over to the main uh, ballot. I want to have a say so about it, so I can flip flop around. In other words, when I go in, I mean, I can vote on that issue also if I'm an independent. So, and I can't do that if I'm registered either Republican or Democrat, and vice versa. If there's something just specifically I want to vote on that's on the Republican side, I can do that also. So it is what it is. Hey, Walter. Oh yeah, Nick. I don't like Nikki Haley either. She's from South Carolina down here too. I don't care for Nikki Haley. I don't care for. Uh, 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 yeah, I'm losing my mind here. Um, I started to say Strom Thurmond, and well, he actually took after Strom Thurmond, and took Strom Thurmond's place was uh, crap. Who am I trying to say? I just talked about him. Help me out here, guys. I'm this is tough. Now this talk about aging. This is what aging does for you. I'm aging. I mean, I know I'm getting older, and you'll lose your train of thought as you get older, and that's why we need to have young people in there that are on top of things, uh, and because you'll do that, and it's nothing that we can prevent. Uh, I mean, I hate it when, and everybody gets that. I mean, when your mind, when you'll see something and you can't remember somebody's name. Lindsey Graham is what I was trying to say a while ago. Uh, but anyway, oh yeah, yeah, exactly, Aaron. Yeah, well, it does. You'll lose your train of thought, and that's what I was doing there. I was trying to think of Lindsey Graham. I could picture him in my mind, and I just couldn't remember his name right quick. Uh, but as we age, and like I said, I'm 73, so I don't profess to be any smarter, any dumber, or anything else. But I'm not running for office, and I'm not driving any equipment, so I'm not doing any harm to anybody. I will give my opinion, and you can take it for what it is. My opinion is only good for what for you're hearing my opinion. That's it, and then my discussion with the guys on lines. Uh, yeah, yeah, getting old ain't for sissies, that's for sure. Because uh, you'll have prostate problems. You'll have uh, your like I was just doing there. Your mental faculties seem to slow down a little bit, somewhat. Uh, I mean, little things like that that aggravate you. I mean, I forget names, and and I hate it, but I do. I mean, I'll forget names. I mean, of course, I don't forget the general issue that I'm trying to talk about, but it's usually something trivial like a name. You get names and numbers and those sort of things, but the general fact, the generalization of what I'm trying to get across, I think the message is still there. Uh, am I as sharp as I used to be when I was 30 and I could spout off stuff like that? No, I'm not there. I mean, I used to, I mean, and I still have a, my wife says a cluster of useless trivia in my head because I know music like I do the back of my hand. And I can quote you. I mean, I can hear a note from a note or two from a song from 1965, and I can tell you what the song is and who the artist is and who played on the song and all kind of stuff like that. It's just something that's ingrained in me, And when you got stuff like that that's ingrained in you, and I like that. I mean, and my daughter has a little bit of that too. She's big into baseball and football. I mean, she's a sports trivia nut, and she she loves it. She loves it, and I love the fact that she loves it. I mean, it 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 is her thing, whereas when I was young, music was my thing, and I'm not musically talented. I'm I guess I'm an archivist of music, and I can tell you a lot about music because I was involved with it. Owning a radio station years ago, working in radio stations, working still to this day, doing some, you know, playing the hits and everything, the old hits from the '60s and '70s and '50s and all that sort of stuff. I enjoy that. I playing music like that, but you know, we have a tendency to lose some of that. Even that, even though I have a plethora of knowledge on that kind of stuff, I'll sometimes can't I can't get it as sharp as I used to. I mean, used to be it was just bam bam, I'd get it. Now I get it, but I'm a little bit slower with it. But that happens. Yeah. Well, I guess we always feel like that sometimes. Maybe we have filled up certain areas of our brain and now they're just draining back or they keep getting over here where the a little rot's going or something. I don't know. Oh, did you hear my Lee Greenwood? Yeah, I played Lee Greenwood. Yeah, I had to be patriotic a little bit in there, and I played Lee Greenwood and a couple other things like that. Yeah, that was my that was my ploy on the uh, bragging on the election and everything because I'm proud the United States is turning some things around. I'm very proud that real quickly some of these woke people are realizing that we don't want boys in girls' lockers. We don't want boys in girls' sports. I mean, people like I mean, I have a daughter and I have a son. I wouldn't dare want a boy to try to compete with my daughter on the same playing field. I mean, I know she's probably going to get beat by other women. That's what she's out there to do is compete against women. But I don't want her to have to compete against men or boys. If she's a young girl. I mean, that's ridiculous. I think we are, Jamie. I think we're looking at great days. Hey, James, how are you? Yeah, well, that's what I was talking about, Chris. Names are the thing for me too. Uh, and I like interaction with the group here on Sunday mornings. I've gotten to know everybody sort of. A lot of the same guys come in and out. Uh, hey, good time. How are you? And I see all the different uh, comments, and I can kind of build a rapport with all the different guys, and I enjoy that. And I think it gives me a little bit of a sharpness, gives me something to look forward to that I can test my memory and everything because I like to kind of test my knowledge and everything. Oh, that's right. There's no late here, James. Every, we're all a free will. You can go in and you can go out. Nobody has to check in at a certain time. I start at a certain time, try to, but there is no attendance taken, and so it's all a free will. Yeah. Well, I hope I'm the real deal. I am. Uh, like I said, I've always professed to be the you. What you see here is what you get. I'm never. I don't like grandma used to say, "Don't put on airs," and I don't. I mean, if you were to meet me in public, that I talk, I act, and everything just like I'm doing right now. I don't do anything different in public or on the street. I mean, I would greet you the same way. I'd be glad to talk to you, and I'd be glad to, uh, converse with anybody. Uh, and I want to, yes, sir, James, we won. Uh, yeah, yeah. Give me a thumbs up, guys, if you can. That helps the old analytics, I guess you might say. Yeah, well, I'm 20 years older than even Mike Tyson. Not 20. I'm 15. And so he's what 58. He's 58, and I'm 73. I think I would have about one smack, and I'd be gone. Uh, I I can't say that I want to do that. I can get in a word fight, but I can't get in a physical fight. I mean, physically, I'd last about half a second. I mean, that's the way it goes. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of good comment out there about different things. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're going to have to watch the Senate. I mean, like I said, there's a bunch of rhinos out there that we're going to have to watch that might screw some stuff up with us. Well, I, I I I don't live inside the city limits, so I can't vote. I can't run for mayor, so that puts me out right there. I have to be within the city limits, and I'm not. I'm about a mile outside the city limits, so I'm uneligible. Un, I'm not eligible uh, to run for the city mayor. I can't even vote either. I can't vote for them. I can politic for them, but I can't vote for them in any way. Now my son could. My son could run, but he's so darn busy at his job. He couldn't make it back in time to go to the meetings that they would have, so it wouldn't do him any good. Yeah, yeah. Mike Tyson is. Yeah, I give him. I give him credit. He made $20 million. That's easy as 20 million that he's made in a while. And I hope Mike Tyson doesn't blow it this time. I mean he's done some crazy things, buying tigers and doing all kind of crazy things that Mike Tyson has done over the years. And he spent his money like it was going out of style. And unfortunately for him, it did go out of style because he lost it all. And so I would hope that he is wised up good enough that he can, maybe because he is 58 now, he can hold on to a little bit more of that money. I mean, he's gone through about 400 million. I believe that's what I saw an estimate. He had about $400 million that he's won over the years in prize fighting and lost every bit of it. No, even though I own property in town, if you don't reside in town, if your primary resident is not in town, you can't you can't vote or run for office. You have to be a primary resident inside the city limits to be able to have a vote or be able to run. So that eliminates me, and it doesn't matter. I don't. I usually get my point across with most of the governing body in town, and they all respect me. So I know the city manager well. Uh, I know the mayor well. I know every one of them. I'm on a personal level with every person there. Now, the one that did defeat my buddy Malcolm, she and I are not friends, but I know her. I mean, she would not give me the time of day probably. Oh, I can be a county commissioner if I wanted to, but I really don't. I'm not. I don't like. Uh, I really do, I never have desired to do that. I mean, it takes a certain level of people that have that desire to uh, do that kind of public service, and it's just not in my DNA. I don't mind giving my opinion, but I don't want to govern, so to speak. And it to me, I mean, I have to give you, for instance, I don't like court. I mean, some people say, "Oh man, I'd love to be a lawyer." No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to be a lawyer because I don't even like being in a courtroom. I mean, I think courtrooms are boring, and if I had to endure that on a daily basis, I would be bored stiff. I mean, I'm more of an outdoor guy. I like getting outside. I like doing things. Uh, I think I've told you on here before that I have a good friend that used to be one of my teachers, and I've told him before. I said, you told me years ago. He said, Mike, you're never going to amount to anything. You can't make a living looking outside, looking through a window. And I said, I fooled you, didn't I? I said, I made a living for 50 years looking through a window of a windshield, you know. So so I got the best of him on that, and he laughed and he said, "Oh yeah, I guess you did. I guess you did fool me." And so we all have different abilities, and we have different lifestyles, and we have our different likes. And mine has been more. Uh, I like to be outside. I like to do things with my hands, and I enjoy this what I'm doing every week. But as far as the majority of what I do, it's uh, it's really you don't get a lot of reward for it other than personal satisfaction. I mean, and I know Chris will probably tell you the same thing too. I mean, Chris works outside and he works, getting old cars and salvage and farming and everything. And but he's got his own personal satisfaction that he's got from that, and that's what I get. There's a certain level of, I mean, and I see this in Chris, and I do. I love to go to a sale. I love to go to an old farm sale, and I'll buy things that my wife will say, "Why did you buy that?" And it's because sometimes it's the gamemanship of winning a bid, and it's also the hidden treasure type thing. And then I love to watch. Chris used to do a lot of videos where he would show what he got and how much he paid for it. And I go, "Oh man, that's great." And it'd be something just as small and trivial as maybe a screwdriver or a hammer or whatever. But you know, when you see when other words, a lot of times I get a I know it sounds crazy, but I mean I'll buy a box of tools knowing that I don't need everything in there, but there's some hidden treasures in there that I wanted, and I buy the entire box and get it. And then the rest of it's surplus. And then I go, "Hey, I did pretty good because I got all this surplus. I got all these things that I didn't really, I bought it for this, but I got all this as surplus." And I think Chris can relate to some of that. Yeah. Well, and that's true, Chris. I mean, your wealth is or your riches is a lot in your family. I mean, I guarantee you can go to sleep at night knowing that you provided for that little girl that you have, and that she's going to grow up to be daddy's girl, and you're going to teach her the right and wrong of what's going on in this world, and hopefully you'll be a good father for her, and you'll your richness with her, and I guarantee, as old as she's getting now, that you're going to have a fun time at Christmas with her this year, and that sort of stuff. So all those things, now that makes you rich. When I look back at my life and I see what has made me happier over the years, it's not so much great big personal wealth or anything. It's a lot of times it's the small things. I mean, it was some of the small things that happened to me as a child. It was the small things that happened to me when I was an adult. As I've had children and uh, learned to enjoy their enjoyment. I mean, there's nothing that can make you happier than see your child smile and be happy with something you've done for them or gotten them or, and made them excited in some way. To me, that's way better than somebody says, you just got $1,000. $1,000 can sit on the desk and it's yours, but it's not going to make you happy. It won't make you happy. It might make you satisfied. I mean, it might be great that you got it, but just stacking money like Silas Marner in the old English tale. Uh, just being a Silas Marner and collecting money or looking in a bank account, it really doesn't give you an excitement uh, as certain things will. That, like I said, like uh, seeing a smile off of a child and seeing your son, your grandson uh, accomplish something that they've been wanting to do. Just things like that. Those will bring you more satisfaction than money will. So you can sleep better, and I'm happier with things like that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, I mean, uh, well, I guarantee that whatever you get your daughter for Christmas, whether it's something big or small or whatever. I mean, I hear tales. I remember my dad talking about he was so thrilled when they got a certain fruit or something for Christmas. I mean, it was times were tight. He came through the Depression era, and getting if their parents could get them some fruit or something like that that was special. I mean, it wasn't the toys that we have of today. Uh, I mean, it's just the expression of giving over and above. Excuse me. You when you make an effort to make somebody else happy, that's a great thing. Yeah, I see a lot of those. Everything you see that I've ever had on my channel as far as a tool, I own. I don't buy, and I don't buy and return things either. I anything, whether it's a tool cat, a bobcat, a track hoe, or uh, a piece of an implement or whatever, I own it. I've not been given anything that I've ever shown on anything. Every lawnmower, every tractor, eh, no one said here, review this. I mean, I've actually had some people that want me to review some stuff, and I haven't done that. I guess I could, but I, I'm just it's not my thing. There's plenty of other channels like that, and they want to do it. That's fine. Yeah, and that's about the way my dad was too. He got what was in his stocking, and that was it. I mean, there was, and I remember my dad. Uh, we used to go go. We had the Baptist Second Baptist Church I used to go to, and we would get the children would get uh, a fruit bag, you might, and it would have nuts and raisins. and everything else. And we'd always share that with my dad, and my dad would light up. And I didn't realize till later years that was kind of his Christmas, because that's the way it was for him when he was young. That was his major thing. And so when we shared that with my dad, I mean, with there's four of us boys, and we would all kind of, pour it out and share it and everything else. And my dad would, eat some of that and eat some of the candy and the apples or whatever, and the nuts and raisins and stuff like that. Uh, I think that harkened back to his childhood, and gave him a little bit of delight. And I didn't realize that till later years, that that was sort of like reliving his Christmas. And I wish I had, I wish I'd had in my mind that that was more of a gift to him at the time. Because if I'd known what I know now, I would have probably came back and said, "Here, Dad, here, let me give you this," and because that would have probably lit him up and made him happier than anything if we'd done that. And because it was, it was exciting for us, but I think it was more exciting for my dad to see what we'd gotten, because it sort of relived his Christmas. And then as we evolve, and we do spoil our children each and every year, we get more and more into that, and all that sort of stuff. Boy, I really have gone off in a tangent here. I've go to y'all guys run me down a rabbit hole, and I'll just go any direction, want to. But I'm enjoying it, and I think this is what's good about our community here, because we can talk about anything, and I'm open to talking about just about anything with most guys out here, and I hope I convey my feelings, and whether it be political or just general life, because I like to express how I feel in life too. I have been very, we talk about money or whatever. I've been very rich in the ways I've been given a good life. I've got a good wife. I've got great children. And I got a great, I have a, well, I won't say great, this sound odd. I have a grandson that is very good. I'm so proud of my grandson, who is studying to be a mechanical engineer. Very smart young man. Uh, he's he and my son both were way smarter than me, uh, knowledge wise, as far as uh, aptitude, I guess you might say. They take that from their grandmother. Uh, my wife was valedictorian of her class. She was sharp as a tack as far as math. My wife, she's good with. Well, of course, she taught math too. She taught math for 32 years. Uh, so she's sharp as a tack when it comes to those things. Of course, now I can trip her up on some things. And she tells me that I'm very smart, and I guess I'm street smart, and I've got social ways that she has never adapted to. She relies on me to be socially smart, and I try to be that, and I try to convey that to my grandson too, and my son. But of course, my son, he's grown. I'm not going to sway him very much in any way. But also I wanted to. My wife's birthday is tomorrow. Barbara's birthday is tomorrow, so we're celebrating Barbara's birthday uh, today. Our family's coming in, uh, and so they're going to be celebrating Barbara's birthday. She'll be 18 again for the umpteenth time, but to me, she's only 18. My wife, to me, that's the beauty of it. We've been married 54 years. To me, she still seems young and vigorous to me. I'm very proud to have married her so many years ago. But yeah, I'll tell her happy 40th. Yeah, yeah, that'd be kind of tough with the children that are 53 and 51, wouldn't it? But we're very blessed. Yeah, well, thank you, James. Yeah, 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 we're going to be happy to celebrate her birthday. Uh, it's the start of birthday week, though. Let me explain. So today we're going to be celebrating with the family, and then tomorrow I take her out to eat. So she and I will be going out for a birthday celebration tomorrow, and then of course Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday she'll find something else to do and have us do. So we'll do that. You had your 66th, 66th. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I guess I can tell. Barbara will be 72. I'm 73. She'll be 72. I'll be 74 in June. I'm about a year and a half older, or a year. Let's see. My birthday's in June. Hers is in November. So it's July, August, September, October, November. I'm a year and 5 months older than her. Uh, so that's our age difference. But we're the baby boomers. I was born in 51. She was born in 52. But we're hanging in there. We're hanging in there. You can't wait till June of 2025. Why is that? Then you can go. Oh, then you can go get a full time job. Oh, okay. Oh, in other words, you'll be 67 then, huh? Yeah. See, I didn't take my retirement early like a lot. I didn't do anything at 62. I waited till I was right at 70 before I took anything out of Social Security because I got the maximum. Because I looked at it maybe differently than some people, but and if I lived to be 81 or 82, I would have gained back everything that I would have lost by taking it at 62. And I didn't need it at 62, and I figure I would have wasted it away at 62. Some people look at it differently, but by waiting to 70, I got the maximum. So I'm getting a nice little chunk of change uh, by waiting to 70. And I don't if you don't need it, I think you ought to wait to 70, and then that way you you're going to get the most amount of funds that you will need after you've retired when you and that'll be the time when you really need it. And that was my case anyway. So some people don't see it that way. I did, and I can't deny it. And actually, I took a 6 month deferred thing, whereas they don't even do this anymore. I found that out too. I waited. I did a 6 month deferment thing, so they paid me 6 months of payments all up front. I got about $20,000 in one check by doing a deferment thing, which was good. But they quit letting them do that for some reason or other. But I enjoyed that. I got a lump sum of $20,000, and I was able to put a good down payment on a tractor. So you know, so when you see my tractor, you can say, "Hey, yeah, you put a down payment on a tractor for that." So that's what I did. You going? Oh, somebody passed away that when he was 71. Well, I hate to hear that. Yeah, I was supposed to. If it hadn't interfered with Barbara's birthday, we lost. I lost a good friend in our car club this week too. Yeah, he was 70, 78, I think. But it is what it is. Yeah, I know it. Harrison Walls would they would have definitely eaten up my Social Security, and they kept trying to talk all lies about everybody's Social Security is going to be gone with Trump. Trump's going to try. There he is. He's going to try to knock the tax off Social Security. So I mean, I have no idea how the people in Minnesota even elected Tim Walz. I mean, they they elected an idiot, in my opinion. I mean, I thought it was so funny that they thought he was going to put the manliness back into the Democratic Party, and that idiot he couldn't operate a shotgun. Uh, it's luckily he didn't do like uh, Dick Cheney and shoot somebody out there when he was out out with a shotgun. But that's the craziness you get sometimes. That is the craziness you get. Yeah. Well, James, I was looking at your past. I hope you can find you something else to do. I I have stayed busy. I When I retired, I did. It's like I might have put it down in a lower gear, but I didn't stop. Uh, I'm still doing as much now. It seems like I don't have the. I wonder where the time went that I was spending actually working a job because boy, I'm busy around the farm here right now. That's for sure. Yeah. Well, they had their fair share of idiots up there, didn't they, James? Yeah. Yeah. He's self-proclaimed knucklehead and idiot for sure. Oh, I know, and that's the crazy thing. And he didn't want any help from Trump. He didn't want the National Guard to come in there and help stop that. He wanted to let them go ahead and burn it down. Go ahead and burn down that city, ruin it for a lot of people over there. Yep, I know it. I guess they get what they get when they vote people like that in. That's for sure. Well, guys, I am going to call it quits because I've got to get ready for, like I said, Barbara's birthday, and it's a special day in the household. Her actual birthday is tomorrow, so I had to do it tomorrow, but we're celebrating as a family uh, for her today. So I'm glad y'all all said happy birthday to her online. I'll convey that information to her. Thank you. Oh, come by and say it, Barbara. Barbara, come over here so they can hear you good. Thank you. She won't get on the. You don't want to get on the picture now, do you? No. She doesn't want to get in the picture, but she said thank you to everybody. Yeah, and yeah. Chris said happy 40th. Yeah, Chris said happy 40th birthday to you. Yeah. Well, she looks 40 to me. Yeah, she looks 18 to me. Yeah, she's a pretty girl. And I'll see you guys next week. Y'all take care.